the Army Black Knights. We're also joined by Army football's biggest fan, Bill and Steve of the radio show Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. Well, thanks for making a trip from Alabama.
Welcome, Army sports fans, from sea to shining sea. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, and this is the one, the only, the legendary Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. And we are here tonight because we are an 8-0 football team, and we got a lot to talk about. But I'd like to introduce my co-host tonight, Barrett the Dirt Pig Crawford. Barrett, how you doing?
Always glad to be here, and Army is doing exceptionally well. Ranked in the college football playoff.
Ranked in the college football playoff. Our normal co-host, Steve Cripey, the human Ouija board, is not here tonight. He's with his lovely wife celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary.
But we have all of his notes.
We have all of his notes. His input will be felt. And Steve, if you happen to be listening, we really do appreciate that. We're having a little trouble with Barrett's mic, but I'm going to go ahead and rock and roll with the show. Had the same problem last week. Don't know what is going on with that. So you will see Bailey here in the camera. And Barrett's going to give it another shot.
Hello.
And
I think that may have worked. There we go. It sounds good.
I can certainly hear him. Well, folks, last week, if you happened to watch the Army Air Force game, we decided that it was a good thing to do to beat the Air Force 20-3. Bailey, we good to go? Say something, Barrett.
Oh, yeah. We beat them very good.
Yeah, we beat them very good. That's in the last 2 years, the wondrous Air Force Academy has scored a grand total of 6 points against us. And once again, a lot of good things happened in this game. Once again, we have yet to trail in any game in the season. And folks, that's probably the most remarkable stat I believe I've ever heard in college football. I mean, even teams that win the national championship, they usually trail at some point or other. But
yeah, and get these stats. With the win against Air Force, one, we're in position to get the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. That makes the Army-Navy game, even bigger.
Mr. Data.
But I mean, look at this. We extend our winning streak to 12 games, the longest active streak nationally right now.
Yep.
Amazing. And then here's for all you Bama fans listening out here, since 2003, the only team with a longer streak without trailing is Alabama in the 2020-21 season.
Where'd you find that?
I just found it.
That's a pretty good stat. Well, folks,
courtesy of the Army website.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about our show tonight. But before I do that, let me mention our great sponsor, North Alabama Mortgage, with Brian Hamaker and his team at NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. I think I would say this: whatever your mortgage needs may be, new house, lake house, refinance, cash out, do some home improvement with the whatever, pay off credit card bills, go see Brian and his team, and they can take care of you. The best way to contact them is NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. I know both Barrett and I have used their services, and it has done well for us. So now a little bit about the show tonight. As Ed Sullivan would say, we have a really good shoe tonight. We've got Coach Blake Powers as our first guest. He's going to show up here in a little bit. He is a running backs coach, and I think I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but Blake Powers has probably the most interesting resume of any coach in the Army staff that I've seen in quite some time. And so we're really looking forward to hearing Coach Powers come on tonight. And then later on in the second half of the show, we want to hear from the listeners. There's a lot to talk about on Army football, and we want to hear what you guys have to say. Just grab a handful of change, head to the nearest payphone after 8 o'clock, and give us a call at 256-576-4977. We'd love to hear what you have to say. So, Barrett, I'm going to try my sound effect again. Do you
Let's see.
Okay, here we go. That is the sound effect for the good, the bad, and the ugly. And Barrett, that wasn't bad, was it, Blake?
I mean, I had a few, sounded a little bit like win, but we'll see.
All right. A little bit about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I will start out with the good. And this is kind of an unusual good for a football team. But one thing I really liked about what Army did was the halftime adjustments from the coaching staff. We went at the half into the locker room at the half, and it was, to me, obvious that even though Mr. Coleman played a superb game filling in for Bryson Daly, their offensive scheme just wasn't working. And you know what they did? They went in there and changed it up and completely dominated the second half. So that's my first good.
Yeah,
we got a lot of them, by the way.
We got a lot of them. It's hard to find any bad with a 20-3 win over Air Force. But no, like what you said, Army went into the half. They were trailing in total offense. Air Force actually out got them in offense. So my good takeaway from this was that the fact that Dwayne Coleman stepped up. Every Army fan who woke up on Saturday, watched College Game Day, and got a notification that Bryson Daly was hurt scared the pants out of us. Nobody knew it was going to happen, but Dwayne Coleman stepped up. He didn't perform as expected. We wanted to see more of the power running that we see from Bryson Daly, but he did a good job. He completed a lot of passes. He had a great pass for completion. But my good was the defense. Army's defense stepped up and shut Air Force out. They had a few long ball passes, but in the red zone, they stopped Air Force and overall kept them to 3 points. So that's my good.
Well, that was a good. And on the sub Bailey, are we okay with Barrett's mic now? Okay. We're having a little bit of a little bit of tech difficulty, but one thing on the subject of Bryson Daly, we received, as did the rest of the free world of Army fans, a notification shortly before kickoff, maybe a couple of hours, that Bryson was going to be out. There's been a lot of speculation about what's wrong with him. I put out a bad rumor that he had an infected foot on our Facebook page. And the bottom line is we don't know. We just know it's a non-football injury. And Coach Monken said in his press conference yesterday that he was going to try his dead level best to practice him this week and then make an evaluation as to whether or not he could play against North Texas. And if he doesn't, though, Coach Monken said, and I completely agree, he's got 100% confidence in Dwayne Coleman.
Oh yeah, and I got extreme confidence in Dwayne Coleman as well. And I mean, with him, Kanye Udo, Noah Short, Casey Reynolds, everybody on the Army offense is going to step up and make the big plays. And not to mention, we have probably one of the highest rated offensive lines in the country. I mean, our offensive line is just creating massive holes. So I feel good going into this game.
Yeah. For those who are not familiar with the Joe Moore Award, that is the award that is given to the top offensive line in the country. And we are in the running for the Joe Moore Award. So let's take a couple of more goods, Barrett. You mentioned the defense. What was your good about the defense?
Well, particularly in the defense, this season, the defense is kind of looked at a lot of interceptions. Almost every game, the Army defense can get an interception. And we had 3 against Air Force, 3, which was just unbelievable. So I think that was a really good going into this Air Force game.
Well, folks, we're going to do a presto changeo microphone switcheroo. This is live radio at its finest. But that's okay. We're going to move right along. One thing I would say about the good that we had during this game was our defense. In the fourth quarter, we had 3 pass interceptions, and I think that's every game we have had this year has had a pass interception in it. Max DiDomenico had a great one. We stopped a lot of drives, and our defense is just playing lights out. I think also another good, we had 6 quarterback sacks in that game. And Barrett, have you got another good?
I think so. Oh, wow. That sounds a little bit better, I think. I mean, I can hear it in my headphones, but we'll see what the listeners can hear. But no, I mean, I think another good besides the big win over our rival, the Air Force Academy, was Kanye Udo. I mean, man, what a runner, what a football player. I mean, he had 2 big breakout runs. And I mean, he just looked unstoppable. And it's really good to see with Bryson Daly injured that we can step up and we can make these big plays, with our running back field. That's why, Coach Blake Powers is doing something with the running back core over there to make them good.
And we shall shortly find that out. Another thing, this is kind of an oddball good, but it's a good thing that I like. As you know, there's no love lost between the Air Force Academy and West Point. And if you watched Coach Monken and the Air Force coach, Troy Calhoun, I guess you could call it shake hands at the end of the game.
More of like a tap, a high five. What does it look like?
Yeah, it didn't look like much of a handshake. In fact, it probably lasted about 1 second, but that's okay. And I do believe I see Bailey working the phone lines, and I think we have Coach Powers standing by. Coach, how are you doing tonight? This is Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. Bill Crawford and Barrett Crawford. How you doing?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Hey, Coach.
Coach, Barrett and I were looking over your resume today and before the show, and I was telling the listeners before you came on, this is probably one of the most fascinating resumes that I have seen on a coach in the Army staff. And just a little brief synopsis. Coach was a quarterback in Indiana. Then he went into the Army through Officer Candidate School, where he achieved the rank of major, and then went back into college coaching. So did I get that right, Coach, or did I mess that up?
No, you got it right. Spot on.
Well, hey, let me ask you this, because there's a lot to unpack in that resume, but what led you from playing football in college to saying, I think I'd like to go into the Army? How did that, tell us that thought process? How did that work?
So I always tell recruits that when I was their age, I didn't know much about the Army. No one in my immediate family had really served since like my grandfathers, but I didn't really know much about it. I was pretty uneducated about it. And when I got done playing college football, I was playing in the Arena Football League and coaching high school ball, and really loved coaching high school ball, but I really missed being part of a team, the camaraderie, the always having something on the horizon to strive towards as a competitor and train for. And I was very blessed at Indiana. I had a really close friend of mine named Kevin Bush, who had enlisted in the Army out of high school, and then he walked on the team at Indiana. And he kind of put the thought in my mind initially, just seeing the amount of pride he had in his service and how close he was with all his former soldiers. And that was what kind of sparked the idea. And then I thought about it. It was just something that I felt a calling to do. And so I went to Officer Candidate School and promised my mom and my fiance at the time that I wouldn't go infantry.
And guess what?
And then about midway through Officer Candidate School, I realized I didn't want to be on the bench. I wanted to be a starter. I called him and told him if I didn't go infantry, I'd feel like a failure.
Well, by the way, one thing that you and Barrett and I all have in common is we've all three had a rendezvous with destiny. Barrett and I were both in the 101st. I was in 2nd 17th Air Cav, and Barrett, you were in what?
I wasn't with the. I was at the 101st different unit though.
So, and plus we've all three commanded a unit, so that's a pretty common thing. So, let me ask you this:
Air assault,
wings of destiny, wings of the
That's
eagle.
right.
Actually, tell us a little bit about how commanding a unit in the military, which you did, how did that help you out when you decided to go back into coaching? Was that any similarities there? Anything you could take from one and translate to the other?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the parallels between coaching college football and being an officer in the Army are endless. And when I first got in the Army, quickly dawned on me, and I realized how much it was like coaching, because I had coached high school ball before I joined. And there's just so many similarities between relationships with your players, relationships with your soldiers, standards, making sure everyone's on the same page, X's and O's and tactics in the Army. And I really feel like the parallels between being an officer and being a coach are really endless when it comes to accountability, standards, leadership, schematics, tactics. I mean, you name it. I think getting back into coaching, it was kind of almost like I never left the Army, especially being here and being honored to serve our players here on a daily basis has just been an absolute blessing.
Well, Coach, you mentioned, or we've been seeing it throughout this whole season. Coach Monken calls it the last of the hard and the brotherhood that this Army football program brings, and we saw it with the Air Force game with the skull and the crossbones on the helmet. Such a cool program for to be in the national spotlight and to have this media attention. And for people who don't really see Army football now, they see this brotherhood. How much of this brotherhood and this Army football program is going in to develop these cadets to be these future leaders in our Army?
Yeah, it's everything to us. I used to love listening to General Williams talk about what he learned between the white lines as a football player here and how that helped prepare him for success as an officer in the Army. And it's something we hang our hat on and that we're very transparent about in recruiting, that we want guys that are willing and want to choose a harder path and that want to challenge themselves and be surrounded by like-minded people that make them better on a daily basis. And, the last of the hard and the black flag and the history of this program is everything to us, and something that we try to instill on a daily basis. And, Coach Monken does an incredible job of holding people accountable and having, extreme ownership and high standards in the program, while also showing our players that we care about them and that we love them. And it was pretty cool in that game to see the skull and crossbones on the helmet.
No doubt.
Oh yeah.
I was pumped up when I saw that.
Well, Coach, let me ask you one more kind of sort of military question before we get into talking a little bit about the team. So you were a major in the Army, had a successful command, had a lot of good things happen, Meritorious Service Medal, Bronze Star, Bronze Star Meritorious Service, ARCOM, CIB, Ranger Tab, Pathfinder, Airborne, Air Assault. Those all equate to what an old aviator like me would say is a badass water walker. And so you were doing well in the Army, but suddenly tell us why you decided to leave that and go back into coaching.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy how it happened. I knew that my long-term life goal was to retire from the Army and coach high school football. I knew when I was coaching high school, I had an amazing experience. I was very blessed to coach for a really successful head coach in my home state of Kentucky, Jamie Reed. And we really turned around a program, and seeing the seniors take pride in it and kind of changing the culture there, it was awesome. It was something I knew that I wanted to do later in life. And I was just kind of doing my thing, serving in the Army, loved every minute of every day I spent in the Army. And I was sitting at my desk in company command in the Screaming Eagles, and a former brigade commander of mine in Big Red 1, who I deployed with as a platoon leader and when I got my CIB, and he actually is the one who pinned it on me. And he called my office desk and was like, "Hey, I got this job at West Point that just came open. I think you'd be unique for it, working with the football team and helping the recruiting department with admissions, with kids getting into school and like some football operations type work. And he was explaining it to me, and I'm like, hold on, time out. I'm like, this is an active duty Army position? And he's like, yeah. And so he put me in touch with Colonel Mark Ray, who was a former operator and he was here at West Point as the deputy athletic director. So I did an interview with Colonel Ray and was blessed to get to come serve here. And I was just kind of doing my thing and enjoying every minute, wearing a lot of different hats with the team, with football ops and admissions liaison and player development for a while and just different roles. And I had orders to go to ILE and was supposed to PCS and the offense coordinator at the time, Coach Davis, and then Coach Beatty, who's a real close friend of mine, and Coach Worley were coaching here, and they were like, there was some changes made on the staff and a position came open, and they asked me if I'd be interested in coaching here, and that was just an unbelievable opportunity that I couldn't turn down. But I'd be a liar if I said I didn't think about it, because I loved the Army and I had a great career going, but the opportunity to coach at a legendary place like West Point and with the Black Flag and the Brotherhood and just being a small piece of that, it was something I absolutely could not turn down. And so that's kind of how it happened. And it's been an absolute honor of a lifetime to serve our players and be involved with this institution and this team.
Well, Coach, we're glad you're a part of it, because over the past years, we've been seeing these dominant Army players in the backfield of the offense, and looking at who we got right now with Kanye Udo, Miles Stewart, and Noah Short, Bryson, and all of them. It looks like you guys are just feeding these guys nails, and you're super gluing the ball to their hand, and you're just saying, hit that line and don't look up until you get to the end zone. How much is this running back core contributing to like the focus of the team every day? I know at some points, during the game, it could be, oh, we just scored a touchdown. Oh, we just scored another touchdown. But hey, let's keep our focus. Let's keep our heads down. And let's just continue to execute. What is that running back core doing every game to keep that mentality?
Well, I think it all starts with recruiting your type of kids that are wired the right way. And we're very blessed that we have, glass eaters like Bryson Daly and Kanye Udo and Jake Rendina and, Noah Short, Miles Stewart, Hayden Reed is an absolute savage football player. And, everybody knows that Kanye and Noah Short are talented with the ball in their hands, but a lot of people probably aren't as dialed into how hard both of them have worked at being blockers without the football. And, seeing their buy-in about being complete players. And when a guy like Noah Short and Kanye Udo, who everyone knows is talented with the ball, come off the field, and they're just as excited about a touchdown block that they made as they are a 60-yard touchdown run, that's when you get the right mentality in the backfield. And I'm just blessed to work for Coach Worley, the offense coordinator, and with Coach Romero, who coaches Noah and Miles and Hayden at the slot position. And, Coach Romero was a really good fullback for Wofford. And Coach Worley used to coach quarterbacks and fullbacks at Kennesaw. And then obviously just learning under Mike Beatty, who's one of the most intense, awesome coaches in the country and a subject matter expert at the B-back position before I started coaching. I've just tried to learn from them every day. I take something from them every day, and we're just blessed to have the type of kids we do that are fully bought in.
Well, hey, Coach, I know you were talking about Bryson Daly being a nail eater, and I know you probably can't comment on it, but we sure hope to see him back eating nails pretty soon. Hopefully, maybe even this weekend. But one player I have a lot of admiration for, because a lot of adversity, but he still hangs in there, and he's starting to get a couple of carries now, and that's Terrell Robinson. Is he 100% now? I know we see him returning punts, and he's had one game he had one carry for 23 yards. Is he going to start factoring a little more into the game plan, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's really just kind of been getting back into the groove of things with, the injury to the same knee twice, and he's just getting back into it. I feel like every day we see him making strides and doing great things, and I know our goal is to continue to get him involved. And you want to talk about an amazing kid, man. He's one of the most dynamic players to ever play here, and just him being back out there and working every day, it's such a boost with our entire team, because Tyrell is just an amazing kid. He has zero ego. I feel like that's our whole team this year. There's no egos. Tyrell has been just awesome for the younger guys on the team at his position, and the whole team as a whole, like the impact he has on them. And he's getting back in the groove of things, and I see him making some plays, and it's really cool when he does something, how excited the whole team gets.
Well, we like watching them play on the field, and we just like watching the running backs go up and down the field in general. Coach, one of the good statistics we've seen this year, and you don't really see it a lot with Army football back in the few years that we've been watching it, is fumbles. We've been doing a great job of, not fumbling the ball that much, and if we do, recovering it. I want to flash back to that movie, The Program, where they make the running back carry the ball to class with them. Is that what you guys are doing up there? Is making everybody hold the football when they go to class?
No, I don't know if that would fly with the regulations, but one thing we do is every single day at practice, we work on ball security drills. And we have a circuit where, it's multiple different drills in a station, and the position groups all rotate through each drill. And it's something we do daily. And we make it a point of emphasis. And if anyone fumbles during practice, we do send them to Double X, which is the top right of Mikey Stadium at the end of practice with a ball.
Oh, man.
Well, hell, at least you don't make them walk up the ski slope like they did me when I was a plebe. But that was for different reasons.
Yeah. No, we Double X. And, the guys, like, we'll have defensive younger guys sometimes helping out in those drills. And it gets competitive because they're trying to knock the ball out to say they're sending somebody to Double X.
I can imagine. Well, Coach, the biggest enemy of sports talk is the clock, and I think we're up against the top of the hour. And I can tell you this, I've been doing this show for 14 years, and this is probably one of the most inspirational interviews that I have ever had. I commend you on your service to the country and your desire to carry that forth at the U.S. Military Academy. I know you've got to be a very inspirational leader to both the football players and the Corps cadets. And we thank you for coming on with us tonight, sincerely, and good luck against the Mean Green, and go out there and they can't tackle that well. People run a lot against them, and I expect nothing other than that from the Black Knights this weekend. And hey, Coach Powers, thanks a lot. Really.
Yeah. Thank you, Coach. Thank you a lot.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate your all's time, and Air Assault beat Navy.
Air Assault.
The Wings of the Eagles. And I know this weekend you have a rendezvous with destiny. So
spot on.
All right.
Thank y'all.
All right, Bailey, let's go ahead and get a break, and we'll come back, hopefully taking your phone calls, 256-576-4977. Crawdad, back in a few.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. The new Cheeseburger Bobby's on Carl T. Jones Drive in South Huntsville is focused on serving great food prepared with the absolute freshest ingredients, featuring classic hamburgers and cheeseburgers with lots of specialty options, chicken and hot dogs, even turkey burgers and veggie burgers, along with fresh cut fries, onion rings, or coleslaw. Always fresh, never frozen, except for the frozen custard. See all the delicious options at Cheeseburger Bobby's for yourself. Check out the menu and more at cheeseburgerbobbies.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. If you're in the market for a new ride, now is the time to make your move. We've got over 700 new Fords to choose from, and with over 2,700 Google reviews, our customers have spoken, giving us a pretty impressive 4.4 out of 5 stars. Believe me, we work hard every day to earn those 5 stars. Just tell us what you need. This month only, we're offering big savings on your favorite Ford models. You can save up to $10,000 off MSRP on a 2024 F-150 Super Crew pickup. Or take $9,500 off MSRP on a 2024 Edge all-wheel drive. And if you're looking for something even bigger, take a spin in our 2024 family-size Expedition, available for $11,000 off MSRP. Deals end November 30th. And with always, it's with your good credit. Stop by Woody Anderson Ford today or visit us online at woodyandersonford.com. With deals this good, you don't want to wait. I'm Bobby White, and we hope to see you soon.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at gensuperstore.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Scattered showers and a few thunderstorms remain possible heading into this Wednesday night. We'll see low temperatures fall into the upper 60s for the overnight tonight. Heading into our Thursday, isolated showers and thunderstorms remain in the forecast, mainly in the morning. We're looking to see partly sunshine by the afternoon. High temperatures warm into the upper 70s for your Thursday. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
There's the phone and no one to answer.
256-576-4977.
And as a result, we got many phone calls and letters.
Give us a call on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline today. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. And we're going to have a good one. I think we've already, got some phone calls rolling in. But before we get to the phone lines, I do want to mention our other great sponsor, and that is Nick's Ristorante, which here in Hunts Vegas, I tell people it's a driver and a pitching wedge south of the intersection of Bailey Cove and Weatherly. A great place to go and hang out. Yeah, I go down there frequently. It's close to my house. And one thing the owner, Tom Chapman, wanted to mention was that Yeah, he wanted to mention that right now, even though it's far away from the Christmas holiday, they're already filling up for holiday reservations. A lot of people book their holiday training down there, or excuse me, thinking about training all the time. They book their Christmas parties down there. So go ahead and give them a call, Nick's Restaurante, and get your Christmas stuff going. And I think we have a caller now. Nate is on the line. Nate, go ahead.
Yeah, just asking about the renovations on the bleachers on the visitor side. What's your take on that, and when's it going to be completed?
Well, my take on that is this. I think a lot of people have complaints about that. They say, "Oh, you can't see Lusk Reservoir, blah blah blah. What do we need that for?" We have Sports Illustrated said we had the second best venue in the country to watch a football game, and that may be true. And then there are some other people who say, "Well, the stands aren't full. What's going on?" Well, we've got to keep up with the times. We have got to get more places for people to sit. I think the way they've got it designed, it's not really going to affect the view of Lusk Reservoir that much at all. And we've just got to step into the whatever century this is, and we have to have a good looking stadium that will attract recruits to come there.
Yeah, I saw projections that it would be complete in 2025, before the next football season. But no, I agree. Nick Saban even said it on game day where, with the buildup of these programs, you need to have the facilities to accommodate that. And I think, heck, I mean, looking at the Army's last two games, it's been sold out crowds. So we need more stadium seats, Yeah,
we keep going undefeated and playing like we are. The seats are going to be really a good thing to have at Mikey. And Nate, the thing that really, though, they need to work on at West Point, in my humble opinion, is getting people in and out of the academy. That's always been a hassle. Parking's a hassle, but we need more seats. So that's my take on it. And I guess Nate decided either he didn't like that or he completely agreed.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, go Army.
Okay, and again, that was Nate calling from parts unknown. No idea where he was calling from, just like those pro wrestlers from parts unknown. And we will take any of your calls at 256-576-4977. But Barrett, let's clean up a little bit about the Air Force Academy game. Any final thoughts on that?
Yeah, and it's hard to come up with bads for a somewhat dominant win over a rival academy, Air Force, 20-3 win. The only bad I got was just the lack of offense, I guess. I mean, Dwayne Coleman stepped up. Kanye Udo had 2 touchdowns. We ultimately won and we controlled the ball, but we didn't get as many yards as I wanted to. The normal amount of total offense that we get is around 442, 515, or 481 total yards. This one, we only finished with 255. So you can see that there is an impact with Bryson Daly not being there. But, I would have liked to see a little bit more yardage against Air Force. And that's something we didn't get. The time of possession was down a little bit. So that was my bad. But again, the good was that our defense stepped up. So where we slacked on the offense a little bit, the defense just stepped up and controlled the field.
Oh, your bad is like saying, "Oh boy, you really got an ugly baby." You still got a baby. So I don't have much of an issue with that whatsoever. We made the adjustments at halftime and we did what we had to do. The one thing that I've admired about our team this year is Coach Saturnio and his special teams gambles, which they've all worked pretty much this year.
This one was so close.
This one was, I don't know about that. If you guys the listeners saw it, we tried some sort of bizarre pass on a.
Yeah, it was a fake field goal. We lined up in some, bizarre scheme, went into it, and it was a fake field goal, and it would have worked. The pass was there. The wide receiver, it hit his fingertips. I didn't like it at the time, but if he would have caught it, I would have loved it.
Yeah, it's like if wishes were horses, beggars would ride.
I don't know what that means, but yeah. But another good, and it's kind of about the game in general. We talked about it with Coach Powers. The black helmets with the skull and crossbones. Army fans know it's an unofficial logo of the team, the Brotherhood, the Army football with that black skull and crossbones. They had that on the helmet, which was just so
kick butt. And then another thing too, Coach Monken's sweater. Nobody talks about it, but that got a little love on it.
Well, some people were a wee bit critical of his sweater on the Facebook page, but because one guy had a comment that it had a zipper between the west and the point or something like that. Sorry that.
Well, and it was the sweater was, and it was a modern twist of Vince Lombardi's sweater that was donated to Army, and I thought it was really cool.
You mean the same sweater that I have
Yeah,
hanging
same
in
one
my
you got.
closet? So, hey, we will go ahead and put the Air Force game to rest, and that we're off on the quest for the Commander-in-Chief's trophy successfully. Speaking of the Commander-in-Chief's trophy, the dear old Naval Academy lost to Rice this past weekend, and that is
it was an unexpected loss. If you're I don't know who Navy fans are, but if you are one, it's an unexpected loss. It puts them below Tulane in the American Athletic Conference. But with that loss right now, the American Athletic Conference looks like it'll be an Army Tulane matchup if we win out the rest of the season. So.
Yeah, I think it's going to definitely take Navy out of the consideration for the AAC championship game. But what we have to do now is we have to win the rest of our games. And that starts with the team in Denton, Texas, known as the Mean Green. One of the most famous players from North Texas is Mean Joe Green of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And a lot of people say, well, that's how they got their nickname. No, that's not how they got their nickname. They got their nickname in spite of Mean Joe Green, but they are in Denton, Texas, which is near, by the way, speaking of North Texas, our good friend and co-host Steve Cripey, the human Ouija board, can't be with us tonight, but his dad went to North Texas, and his roommate while he was there was one of their famous alumni, Joe Don Baker, who some of you may recall from the first Walking Tall movie. Been in tons of movies. So, Steve, if you're listening, shout out to you and your family. And North Texas is a big school. They have 49,000 students there. That's the third largest university in the state of Texas. They've been playing football for a long time, but I think we're going to give them all they can stand. And I think we need to take a break, Bailey. We'll get back to the North Texas conversation when we come right back. This is Crawdad, back in a bit.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
If you work in a dangerous or logistically intense industry, you know good training can be a challenge. There are training costs, safety concerns, and difficulty replicating real-world scenarios. There's a better way used right now in the Army and in all our armed services to better prepare our heroes, and it's available to you in your organizations. Higher Echelon's Game Development Team is revolutionizing learning in military training, dangerous industry, STEM, and sports performance domains with cutting-edge virtual training that immerses you in lifelike scenarios without the cost and safety concerns concerns for trainees. With Higher Echelon's game-based training, you'll experience realistic simulations, precision accuracy, and unparalleled safety. Higher Echelon founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and puts that experience to use. His team has been building cutting-edge virtual training environments for soldiers and clients for a decade. Higher Echelon, the name you can trust for advanced training solutions. Reach out at higherechelon.com to get your free consultation. Go Higher and go Army.
It's time to get ready for game day. That means Alabama football and tailgate. Whether you're tailgating at home or at Bryant-Denny, visit Brooks & Collier for North Alabama's largest selection of premium grills and smokers like Big Green Egg, Blaze, Delta Heat, Memphis, and Traeger. Satisfy any palate with our wall of rubs and seasonings. For all your tailgating needs, visit Brooks & Collier at 813 Meridian Street or at brooksandcollier.com. An Alabama tradition for over 75 years. Roll Tide.
New coordinators. That's as good as money, sir. New quarterback. It's my quarterback. Same coach.
Hi, and you all may be taking the week off, this week, but I'm not.
We are your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, and we're going to have a short segment here in the break, and then we'll wrap it up. But I do believe right now we have a caller on the line. Mike, are you with us?
Yes, Crawdad. This is Michael Beings, your classmate, bud. How you doing?
Man, always good to hear from a real live war hero. What you got for us tonight? Or actually a hero of 9/11. What do you got for us tonight, Mike?
Hey, well, I tell you, one thing I'm liking with the team right now is you can kind of see a oneness coming about them. And that's usually kind of special when you get a team that way, and you can see it in just kind of how they're prepared. You also can kind of see it when they don't do things as well, and you're starting to see the coaches and players and make adjustments, and that's always good. So we've got some great challenges coming up. This weekend, I think it's going to be a really big one. But I'm looking. I like the way the team is looking right now. I am.
Oh, Mike, I couldn't agree more. And you mentioned the team coming together. I know this may sound petty, but back in my old high school football days, our coach had a little saying painted on the wall, and it said, "When the chips are down and the jig is up, and there is a price to pay, can you pay?" Well, the chips were a little bit down for the Army team this past Saturday, and they pulled together and they paid the price. And I was as proud of a 20-3 victory over Air Force with Dwayne Coleman at quarterback as I would have been a 52-7 with Bryson Daly.
Yeah, and I think that, it seems like the Army football team's on the same sheet of music, and it seems like they go in with the game plan. They have to make some minor tweaks, but overall, when they come back in that second half or they make those tweaks on the sidelines, you don't see anybody griping. You don't see anybody, throwing their helmet on the sideline. You just see a efficient team who's willing to put in the work and, make those adjustments to dominate on the other team. So I'm liking them as well.
Mike, a question for you. I know for our listeners, you may not know this, but Mike was a colonel in the Pentagon that was involved in writing some of the policies about Army football players and what they could do after they graduate. What do you think about that now? Do you think we're on the right path? I know no NIL, which I think is good, no transfer portal. What's your assessment of the state of Army college football these days?
I think we're on the right path. We still have to adjust. And because we've got to kind of do things, I think that at least keep us, I think, relevant in the current college environment. I think what we're doing reference the ability for our players after they have playing time, that they'll have our opportunity if they're good enough to a professional career, and that's going to be in professional football, and that's going to be few and far between. That's a hard road to go. But I think you got to have a path, and the path is much different than it is when the policy I wrote. But things kind of have to change. So I think that's good that we do have that way, because we'll have some that'll be able to do it, and I think in the long run, it just helps the program. And so I think we're in a good spot, and we just have to. The key thing is staying relevant. I think if you look back some of the dark years that we had, back in the early 2000s and everything else, Army football didn't stay relevant. And that's why you saw teams that were out there that just weren't competitive. And I think we got the kind of leadership at the superintendent, the coaches. We got to stay relevant because this college game continues to change and evolve.
I agree. Truer words have never been spoken. Well, Mike, you got anything else for us, or are you you said your piece?
I think I said my piece. I think I've had enough. I think if I said any more, I couldn't stand it.
Well, give us a quick prediction for North Texas.
I think this is going to be close. What I've seen, they've got a guy who can sling it, and that always keeps you in games. But I like us winning the game. Army 31, North Texas 24.
Oh, that's a good prediction.
Hey, I like that prediction. It's kind of close to what I'm going to predict, but hey, look forward to seeing you maybe next year at our 45th reunion. So you take care, Mike.
Go Army.
Go Army.
All right. Well, I think we've got about a minute to get out of here. And again, just a little mention, one of the best things you can do if you want to support our sponsors is go do a refinance with North Alabama Mortgage. Take that pocket full of cash and go down to Nick's Restaurante and have a good celebration. I'll bet you and I'll be going down there. We'll be there pretty soon doing exactly that. So we're going to get out of here for our final break. And we still got room for you if you want to give us a call at 256-576-4977. Run down to that payphone, put a quarter in it, and give us a shout. Crawdad back in a few.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
AL cert number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are our grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and this summer we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490 or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-Sparky.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary, but it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Eagle Masonry and Insulation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship in insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Carrabba's Italian Grill is the best place to enjoy authentic Italian cuisine, passed down from our founders' family recipes. Featuring a wood-burning grill, you can enjoy Carrabba's signature dishes, including chicken brine, wood-fired grilled steak and chops, and classic Italian pasta dishes. Have a special event? Elevate your catering with Carrabba's Catering, the perfect way to enjoy large party portions of your favorite hand-prepared dishes for any event. Carrabba's Italian Grill at Parkway Place, Huntsville.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Crawdad, final segment of the Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff show for tonight, and it is going to be a quick segment without a doubt. So, Barrett, give us a little bit of North Texas love on the green sheet.
Well, I got Steve's green sheet for those who can see it on the YouTube channel. Right now, Army's got a lot of green, which means we're dominating in a lot of these statistics. Number one rushing offense in the country, averaging 340 rushing yards per game. Number one in team passing efficiency. Number one in red zone defense. And number one in scoring defense. We're looking really good. But you can see North Texas has got a little advantage in the passing area. They're number 2 in the nation in passing offense and number 3 in total offense. So looking at North Texas, basically the big highlight is they got a quarterback who can pass the ball. He can pass it well, and they have weapons, but their defense stinks. And they are tied for almost last place for total defense for rushing yards allowed. They average about 449 rushing yards allowed. So
we got Michael. Michael, we can take you quickly. We got 2 minutes.
Just a quick question. How to watch the game? Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, the game is on ESPN2 at 2:30 p.m. Central Time. Barrett, as the clock is winding down, give me a prediction.
So I'm going to predict, North Texas got a pretty good team. They've taken the Tulane and Memphis to very close games. They lost those, but they got a good team. They got a quarterback who can pass. But I think our offense is going to step it up. I'm hoping Bryson Daly will be healthy enough to play. I think Army's going to win 31-17.
Well, we're actually kind of in almost agreement. I think, first of all, this is probably going to be the first game this year where we actually do not – where we fall behind it, but we're going to come back and win it in 23-17. So, Barrett, how many days?
Sir, there are 37 and a butt days until Army beats the hell out of Navy at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland.
Hey, how about that?
I tried to do my best Steve impersonation.
That's okay. And also next week, just as a reminder, we will not be here. Army has a bye next week. So I know you will shed a tear that we're not going to be here, but certainly we will be back. You can watch us on the YouTube channel. Go search Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff on YouTube, not YouTube TV. And as we always say, no matter where you are and no matter what you're doing, there's a soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, Coast Guard Academy, and a merchant Marine person out there somewhere standing a watch so you can enjoy the life you do in this great country of ours. And it is a great country, and there's a lot of good stuff going to happen. And who knows what the future holds for Army football in America, but I'm optimistic. I'm positively optimistic. And so we're going to get out of here. This is Crawdad and the Dirt Pig saying, go Army.
Beat Navy.
And we're out for the week, guys. Thanks.